Hey guys, it's Selena and I will be presenting the topic of culturally responsive teaching using technology. So what is culturally responsive teaching? In 2000, Professor Geneva Gay wrote that culturally responsive teaching connects students' cultural knowledge, prior experiences, and performance styles to academic knowledge and intellectual tools in ways that legitimize what students already know. This allows teachers to create learning patterns that promote student engagement and achievement in the classroom. What are some strategies teachers can use to be effective in culturally responsive teaching? While they can use cooperative learning or independent work after students are familiar with the concept, research projects that focus on issues or concepts that apply to their own community or cultural group are very successful in culturally responsive teaching, and most importantly, providing various options for completing an assignment. Why is teaching in a culturally responsive way important? Students need to understand that there is more than one way to interpret a statement, event, or action. By being allowed to learn in different ways or to share viewpoints and perspectives in a given situation based on their own cultural and social experiences, students become active participants in their own learning. Culturally responsive teaching also helps to bridge different ways of knowing and engages students from non-dominant cultures in demonstrating their proficiencies in language usage, grammar, mathematical knowledge, and other tools they use to navigate their everyday lives. Further, students from non-dominant cultures can learn how to translate the logical structures of their knowledge and map them onto the school curriculum. Children from homes in which the language and culture do not closely correspond to that of the school may be at a disadvantage in the learning process. These children often become alienated and feel disengaged from learning. People from different cultures learn in different ways. Their expectations for learning may be different than others. For example, students from some cultural groups prefer to learn in cooperation with others, while the learning style of others is to work independently. To maximize learning opportunities, teachers should gain knowledge of their cultures represented in their classrooms and adapt lessons so that they reflect ways of communicating and learning that are familiar to the students in their classroom. What can happen if culturally responsive teaching is ignored? Children learn about themselves and the world around them within the context of culture. If ignored, students from minority cultures may feel pressure to disavow themselves of their cultural beliefs and norms in order to assimilate into the majority culture. This, however, can interfere with their emotional and cognitive development and results in school failure. Teachers should not avoid culturally responsive teaching and should aim to expose differences by bridging cultural differences through effective communication in the classroom. This can be done by teaching and talking to students about differences between each other and showing how differences among the students make for better learning. Teachers could also attend community events of the students and discuss the events with the students. So, is there a tool teachers can use to be effective in culturally responsive teaching? Yes, there are many easy-to-use online resources available to help teachers who want to include learning projects which will appeal to students' interests while exposing them to a variety of different cultures. Learning technology can be a useful tool to help teachers meet diverse students' needs. So, what kind of diversity can be seen in the classroom today? With the establishment of education acts for students with special needs, more and more students with exceptionalities have opportunities to be involved in a regular classroom. In addition, there's an increasing trend of English language learning students to account for a larger percentage of the student population in the classroom. These students, both male and female, have diverse physical abilities, diverse intellectual abilities, and diverse cultural backgrounds. Under such conditions, it is very difficult for one teacher to meet all of the students' diverse needs in the classroom. Learning technology is an effective way to enhance excellence in education, to support curriculum requirements, to meet various needs, and to ensure quality of education. As one of the most open and multicultural countries in the world, the population of the United States is formed of individuals from diverse backgrounds. These various backgrounds are also seen in classrooms across the country. The first and foremost conflict diversity brings to education is language barriers. A student's home life language could be different to school life language. The use of technology to gap the language barrier is so powerful. For example, many computers, tablets, iPads, what you name it, now have the capability to convert text to speech and speech to text. This would allow communication and assignment submission options for students who are not comfortable speaking the dominant language that they wouldn't have in a non-technology-based classroom. Skype in the classroom is a community where teachers collaborate to create lessons and connect K-12 classrooms globally through free Skype video, audio, and texting. If you have not checked out Skype in the classroom, I suggest you do so. It's a very exciting way to expose students to different cultures through lessons, virtual field trips, and guest speakers. The next really cool online resource that teachers can use to create a diverse and accepting environment is the Global Read Aloud program. It was founded in 2010 with the goal of connecting the world with a book. When a teacher signs up their classroom, they participate in a reading of a book that classrooms around the world are reading as well. Then they can connect with one or multiple classrooms around the world to discuss the reading. At the easy-to-navigate ePEL site, teachers and students can collaborate with other teachers and students from over 200 countries in authentic learning projects. You can join other classrooms in projects that are already in progress, or you can design your own project and ask other classrooms to join in. This allows students to collaborate with other students who are different from them but allows them to work at the same goal. Teacher Vision has an article that has multiple ready-to-use tips for welcoming and engaging diverse students. It has strategies, special needs resources, English language learner resources, holiday resources, and so much more. I believe this site is a good place to start if you are wondering where to start with culturally responsive teaching. Ginger offers several features that can help students with dyslexia and other learning disorders with writing. It is also designed for speakers of languages other than English. Features include grammar checker to determine any errors or misspellings, word prediction and sentence rephrasing tools that can be helpful for students learning how to construct sentences properly, and TTS functionality so students can hear what they've written. In conclusion, technology can aid in the culturally diverse classroom. It can expand options to complete assignments such as video or text that would not be an option in a non-technology inclusive classroom. Learning technology is also a very useful tool when it comes to exposure to different cultures through different online sources that allow collaboration with other classrooms around the world. Here is a list of my resources where I got some information, and all of my images were taken from Google. Thanks for listening.